Hi, this is Ash from Epic Pros, your Epicor ERP consultant. This video is going to be about project recovery around your ERP implementation. Let me set up the scene. So the client that gone to recovery is a manufacturer. They are forecast to order. They operate in two physical sites. They're one company, one legal entity. They are forecast to order, but they have some element of their demand management is related to make to order as well as kit to order. Their sub-assembly area are common sub-assemblies, and they are constrained by capacity and space. Their batch size manufacturing when it comes to the sub-assembly, and the sub-assembly will need tool changing as well as setup. So it's quite costly to keep changing the production plan downstream. The client has been using Epicor 18 months. And this is the interesting part, that usually client think if a project goes to recovery, either it's happened at earlier stage of the project or at go live, which is the most common one. But in this case, it's happened 18 months after the implementation has been done. I was brought into the project really later stage. So when the recovery has taken place, I was brought into the project. So I'm only going to speak about starting off my engagement with the client. So when I came to the client site, what was happening is that the client were shipping about 20K per day. And that was down from 300K on an average per day. That's quite critical, because if you're not able to ship, you're not able to invoice, and if you're not able to invoice, then your cash flow is impacted. Plus, if you're not able to ship, your client who's waiting for orders, they might go somewhere else, get order cancellation, they lose confidence in your process and your delivery time. And if you're delivering in behalf of third party, those third party suppliers, sometimes they will put a fine on the late deliveries, so you might end up paying fines as well. And then the fourth is that if you have a production plan that is forecast to order, that production plan will be on the basis that you're going to ship so much in so many weeks, and you're going to take so many orders in so many weeks. So your production plan is in limbo, because you're no longer able to tell should you produce something, because suddenly you have cancellation of orders because you're not able to ship them. So you can see it's a bit of a tangle, and it's a knock-on effect, and it has a domino effect, and it almost feels like a spiral fall. Let me tell you the history of why the recovery has taken place now. So the client was trying to move and consolidate between two physical locations. They thought if they consolidate their operation, they will centralize the picking, and they will centralize their customer service operation as well as their production, because they were still selling the same part from two different sites, from two different locations. So it's a smart move in terms of optimization and consolidation to capitalize on your workforce, as well as space and cost and efficiency as well. They brought in a specialist team to come and design the warehouse and the layout. So the client has done their homework when they brought in a specialist. They've gone through everything. Regularly, you'll get, when you have a fulfillment process in place, you'll go through pick to pack, the staging area, streamlining the shipping, pallet sizes, primary bin location, frequency of pick, volume of pick, number of sales of the pick, the speed of picking, the route mapping of where an item should be, most frequently picked item, the size of the item, number of item per boxes, the replenishment strategy. The client done their homework. And when the move has happened, and when physically they move the stock from one location to another, they end up slotting some of the stock in the wrong location. So when the pickers were going to a specific location to pick an item, they weren't finding it there. Instead, they were finding something else there. And here's something that's worth mentioning now. If you ever have a stock inaccuracy, while it's manageable, you'd want to fix it. If it spirals, if it goes out of control, it's a spiral fall from there and on. Because once you go to a location and you don't find the stock there, you'll end up shipping from a different location, and you're not sure at the stage that the location you shipped from is where the stock is at on the system. So suddenly now you have a mismatch between quantity, parts or SKUs, as well as location. It took in total 9 months for the client to recover back. The recovery process, there was involved massive team. The IT department of the client were camping there. I was brought in as the Epicor consultant. They brought in a supply chain specialist who only knows supply chain. They're not an ERP system expert who's going to work only on optimizing the supply chain. And then they brought in 2 managers to manage the transaction on the shop floor. So they were hands-on, down on the shop floor, working with the team. One thing is to mention here that the recovery is a process, it's not a transaction. So if you were to throw resources at it, it's not necessarily going to get you the result unless you identify the task that is critical to your business process. So in our case here, the process was we want the shipment process to go back to normal. We need to ship, we need to be able to bill. So to increase the shipment, we have to increase the packing. To increase the packing, we have to have the stock in the staging area. To have the stock in the staging area, we have to pick it fast. And for us to pick, we have to have the stock in the location where we're supposed to pick it. So as we peeled the onion to find out the layers, we realized then that, okay, so this is an stock issue and we need to fix it there. So we've thrown all our effort and all our resources behind fixing the stock issue. I will make another video about the Epicor side of how we fix this, because what the client done, once they realized they are having to fix so much in the stock, they decided to introduce new processes in Epicor, customization and development, and some business process management to manage certain logic. And they created screens to facilitate for the user to operate the software much better. This is Ashraf Ibrahim, your Epicor ERP consultant from Epic Pros. If you're going through a recovery, please get in touch. I'm sure we can help. We have a good experience in recovering projects. We recovered about 8 projects in total in different locations, not just in the UK. And we recovered them at different stages. So we recovered at go live, post go live, as well as early stages in the project.